Hi, welcome to Money Confidence. I'm Crystal Oculee, the Chief Financial Strategist here at Confidence Wealth. And every week I try to bring a topic to you that's important and what's talked about. And it seemed to be required minimum distribution, also referred to as RMD. So I just want to go over a couple of the basics. So required minimum distribution age used to be 70 and a half, if you remember. Then it changed to 72. And sure enough, this year it did change to 73. I think I already sent a couple of videos regarding this because we expected this was happening anyway. Now that it's been announced and it is official this year, one of the things to keep in mind, because I had a lot of people that just say, well, maybe I don't need to take my income from it the year I turn 73 and I can delay it to the following year. Because the year you turn that specific age for required minimum distribution, in this case 73, you can take that year's RMD the following year and lump it together with the following year. But here's what's important for you to really watch out for. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you need to or you should, because it really depends on your income during the year that you turn 73 and what it is in 74 that wouldn't make sense to lump it together. So what if, for example, you are going to get the same amount of income and really your income is not really changing, so putting it together may take you to the next tax bracket and it's better for you to split the RMD between both years? Then it's better to do that. But what if you're working and you're making a pretty high salary and then you're retiring the following year? So then it makes sense to actually delay it and take it the following year. It's the only time you're allowed to do that very first year, but you have to be very strategic about it and make sure it makes sense. This is all going to also relate to some people that are taking required minimum distribution out, but still Roth conversions as well. If they're doing both of that together, then it really matters when, should they be lumping the RMD together or not. So I want you to really think strategically when it comes to, should I delay that 1 year just because I can? A lot of times people are looking at the required minimum distribution because I know it's not fun. It's something that's forced and you have to do. And even if you don't need your income, you have to do it. But it also doesn't mean you have to push it all the way back. That also goes into play with things such as, what if you have retired when you're 60? And I see this with a lot of people where they delay turning on any income from the retirement funds and they just wait till they're forced at 73. Well, you don't have to do that, because then that's going to keep getting bigger and bigger and the ticking time bomb becomes bigger and bigger. Your RMD is going to be a much higher amount. And if taxes are going to go up in the future or even stay the same, if your income is going to go higher because of that RMD, you're going to have to pay a lot more taxes. Maybe it would make sense for some people to start depleting the IRA out earlier on. Or if you were doing Roth conversions along the way, then that would reduce your RMD in the future because you're not going to be forced into it. So it really is important to think about your required minimum distribution the same way you would think about Social Security, pension, and all of that. When's the best time? And how do I make sure I minimize taxes on it? Also, it is your responsibility to take your required minimum distribution out. The financial institutions are going to send you the paperwork because it's going to be based off of the value of the previous year. But if you miss it, then guess what? There's going to be a huge penalty. We don't want that to happen to you. So it's really important that you keep track of all the required minimum distribution. Now, I know for our holistic clients, we're always doing this and every year we're talking about it, and RMD is part of the tax planning. So it's something that's discussed. But I wanted to make sure if you're new to Confidence Wealth or you are looking at this and saying, I haven't talked to the team in a long time, or I haven't had anyone that asked me this question. And let's say you just happen to come across this video, then please feel free to reach out and set up a complimentary session to understand and meet with one of the team members and see what are the things you can do to really make sure you're maximizing your income and minimizing your taxes. Investment and tax planning go hand in hand. And it's really important that you understand that, and it's important that you plan for it. And required minimum distribution is one of the most important things during your retirement. And I have seen people mess that up drastically by not having a good plan in advance and just waiting and putting their head in the sand and waiting for the time, and then just letting it, in a sense, take control of them instead of them taking control of the situation. Remember, being proactive is always better than being reactive. So be smart about your required minimum distribution and your RMD planning. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. If there's a topic you want to talk about, please be sure to post it to me or email me, and I'll be happy to talk about that in the next session. Have a great one.